Hi guys, it's been a little while since my last studio vlog, and since then I've had a second shop update, and I wanted to just share the behind the scenes of what went into this smaller shop update. So this time I painted 4 original artworks and I turned them into stickers and prints and postcards, and I also turned one of them into a bookmark. So the one you're seeing me paint now is the first one out of the 4, and this one was based off a photo that I took in Japan at the bamboo forest in Kyoto. The idea behind these 4 paintings that I did was I wanted to paint original paintings from my own photos or from my own imagination, because most of the paintings that I've been doing so far have been based off mostly from copyright-free photos that I find online through Unsplash, Pexels or Pixabay. And while they're really great places for finding beautiful landscape photos that I love painting, part of me just feels like this work isn't 100% mine, and I'd like to move in the direction of creating artwork that is 100% original to me. So it's work that you won't find anywhere else on the internet, because these photos are either taken by me or they're produced from my own imagination. So that was the challenge I set for myself. I originally set out to do more than 4 paintings, but they were all I got around to doing in the end, because I wanted to have this second shop update before the end of the year, which I did manage to do. I had it on Christmas Eve, so that was good, but it just meant that I didn't film the process for any of the other 3 paintings, because I thought I would be doing more and I thought I would film those later. So this is the only one that I filmed the process for. In other news, I bought a scanner, which you would have seen at the start of this video. I was so encouraged by how my last shop update went that I wanted to invest back into making better prints and postcards. So I bought a scanner so that way I can have high quality images, and it also gives me the option of making larger size prints, since I can scan in my paintings at a high resolution, which will allow me to scale them up more without losing quality. I honestly spent a lot of time researching into which scanner to buy, and the one I settled on is quite an affordable option that gets the job done, but I do have a few issues with it, which I will talk about a little bit later. For now, I'll just show you how I made my prints using the scanner. So after I placed the painting face down on the glass, I opened the Epson scanning software, which comes with the scanner, and I first do a preview scan, which allows me to then select the area that I want to scan, and then I scan it in at 600 dpi. It takes a minute or 2 to do this. Then I open it up in Photoshop and I first just crop the image. By the way, I'm really new to learning Photoshop, so this isn't a tutorial by any means. This is just me sharing the process that I've learned so far. So after I finish cropping it, I use the spot healing brush and I just clean up any parts of the painting which have dust on it from the scanning glass. I do minimal edits to the painting, if any at all, because I just preserve it as it originally was. So I'm just looking for things that weren't originally in the painting, and I get rid of those spots or those dust marks. After that, I do some light editing to the image just to make it look more like the original. So I adjust the levels a little bit, and honestly I'm not very good at this. I'm still learning how to go about it to get it to look truest to the original painting. In this case, I think less is actually more, because in one of the other edits that I did a few too many edits, and even though on screen I thought it looked true to the original, when I received the print it was just way too saturated and way too bright, and I'll show you how the print turned out like later. Once I've cleaned up the scan, then I bring it into this new canvas, which is set to the size of the print that I want, which is A5, and then I put a mask over it so I can have a white border around the print, and I'll leave a link down below for what tutorial I followed to learn how to do this, in case you also want to learn. but basically it just means that I can shuffle around the painting within that frame and get a nice clean white border around the edge of the print. So that's how the final print looks like, and this is what I send off to the art studio that prints it for me in Melbourne. Now, in terms of the issues that I mentioned that I have with the scanner I got, the first one is really minor. It's not really an issue. It's just that if you don't hold down the scanning lid while you're scanning, the scan will come out blurry. If the paper is 1mm off of the screen, it will become a little bit blurry, but that's not a big deal. The second one, which is more of an issue, is that I find the scanner overexposes any white areas, and I don't know if there's a way to maybe set the scanner settings to help with this issue. One thing I did do was I turned off, I think it was called continuous exposure, and I also lowered the exposure settings, which did help a little bit. But you'll see in some of these examples that any paintings with really bright white areas just get overexposed, and I'm also not sure if this is something I can fix up in post-editing, although I think you can't do too much about it if something is overexposed, because that information is just not there for you to edit when you're doing post-editing. So if anyone has any tips for what I could possibly do in this situation, then please let me know down below, or if you just have any tips in general about scanning and making prints, I'd also love to know, since I've been spending a lot of time just trying to learn how to do this for myself. Here are the other two scans, and these are the raw scans, so I think they turned out pretty good. So for any paintings where there aren't really bright white areas, the scan turns out really well, and I really like the quality. One last thing I'll say about the scanner is it picks up a lot of paper texture, which is nice in some paintings, but in some other paintings, or in areas where again the painting is a bit brighter and a bit wider, I feel like the paper texture is a little bit too much. So that's just another thing to note about this scanner. Now I'll show you how my prints turned out. So I got my art prints done at the same place again because I really love the quality of their prints and their service. They're really friendly, and so I'll have them linked down below in case you want to get some prints done. They all turned out really well except the one that I didn't edit too well, which is one of the reasons why I want to buy my own printer and eventually do everything in-house, so I can have full control over the entire process, and that way I can also learn how to better edit my scans, as I can do more trial and error with editing the scans, then doing a test print, and then just repeating the process and iterating on it. Whereas if I have these printed by an art studio, I don't have control over that printing process, and by the time I receive the prints, it's too late to make corrections unless I have the time to wait to receive a second batch of prints. So hopefully that's something I can work towards doing in the future. Here's a closer look at the print that I thought turned out too bright and a bit too saturated, so I decided not to sell this one. I had two of them and I decided to randomly give it to two people who placed an order as part of my second shop update. The postcards and stickers I once again ordered from Moo because I like their quality, and I like that I can order lots of different designs for the same price. I ordered some more of the sunset seascape postcards and the flower field ones because they were the most popular ones. I also got some stickers which I thought turned out so cute, and in future I definitely want to try making some more of these because they're just so cute to look at, and I love the thought of people sticking up my paintings somewhere. I just think that's so cute. There were unfortunately 2 issues with this order. One of them was my fault. I didn't set the painting within the printing bounds of the postcard, and so one of the postcards had a white strip underneath. The second issue is that about 10 of the postcards came with dented corners, which is what happened the first time I ordered with them as well, and it's because of the way that they package their postcards. When you order 100 of them, they pack it in a paper box, and it's just prone to denting the postcards, especially because it's traveling to me all the way from the UK, so I guess there's nothing I can do about it. When I did order a larger quantity the second time, they packed it differently, and that time it didn't come with any dented corners. So I guess if I order in quantities of 100 or less, then I will have to expect some of them have these dented corners, but that's okay because I just like to include these as extra postcards in orders. After I received all the postcards, stickers, prints and bookmarks, I was ready to start taking photos of everything and start to update my shop. I usually take all my photos outside in my front yard because the lighting in my room is not very good, but because the prints don't completely lay flat, I have to stick them down onto some paper and just take the photo in my room. Then I started packing the postcards into the sleeves so they're ready to go if they get ordered. And on the morning of the scheduled shop update, I took the website down for a few hours just to finalize everything, and that's it. I feel like this time round the shop update was a lot easier because I had already figured out a lot of things the first time round, such as shipping and pricing and listing everything. Now I already had a template to go off, so doing everything was a lot faster, so that was good. Thank you so much once again to everyone who supported the shop update. It really means so much to me, and every order was just really exciting for me, so thank you. If you would like to watch me pack some of the orders, then the rest of this video is dedicated to that, so feel free to keep watching. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye. you.